Spending money on things that make you happy in the moment is exciting, emotionally rewarding, and can be a lot of fun. But those feelings don't usually last more than a few days. The reality is that spending every available cent every single month without savings and investments is keeping you broke. Prioritizing your financial security and financial future will make you a lot happier, profoundly happier in the long run than what the spending is doing for you today. Trust me, I've been there. Come hear what I have to say. Hi, I'm Lachlan Campbell, the founder of Mad Success. My mission and life purpose is to help you reduce your financial stress and improve your financial confidence and knowledge so you can eventually become financially free. We offer success coaching and courses for individuals and corporate teams, so if you're interested to know more, send me an email. It's in the description below. One key to a much happier life with a lot less financial stress is better money management by prioritizing financial security over immediate gratification and wants. That's tough, I know. When I was in my 20s and early 30s, I was all about self-gratification by spending money on me and what gave me pleasure in the moment, including showing off and spending with my friends. In fact, I was very selfish, self-focused on my career, my health, travel, drinking and partying, and looking good externally with clothing and purchases of unnecessary bling like expensive watches, fast cars, and so on. I would fly 12 hours from Hong Kong to London for a weekend to attend a friend's party just for kicks and giggles. I used to race F2000 Formula Renault race cars around Asia for about 6 years, and if you know anything about car racing, it is not an inexpensive sport. Yes, I had some great experiences, but I was a fool with my money. I spent a lot of money that I wish I now had in investments, paying me dividends and interest and rent. I'm doing fine because I turned my life around in my mid-30s, but had I been more responsible and disciplined and started investing in my 20s, I would be significantly wealthier today than I am. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. I can promise you, you'll be 40, then 50, then 60 before you know it. Time flies. In my 20s and early 30s, I found myself in a perpetual cycle of spend, spend, spend during the year with the expectation of a great year-end bonus that I would then put into my investments. At least that was my plan. I worked my entire career in investment-related banking where large annual bonuses were expected. But the reality often did not meet the expectation. Meaning, many years I did not receive a bonus, or the bonus was much smaller than expected. So I would find myself at the end of the year without a bonus and with a looming tax bill and maybe some credit card or other debt that I had accumulated during the year. And without savings, I did not have the money to pay my tax bill. So I borrowed money from my bank to pay my taxes and to pay off my credit card and any other bad debts, and I started the spending cycle all over again the next year, foolishly. Fortunately, I've always been really careful not to carry outstanding credit card debt because the interest rates are brutal. But I was living paycheck to paycheck in those years, spending everything I made or paying off debt from the year before and spending everything left over. My 20s and early 30s were a vicious cycle of self-pleasure through ridiculous and immature spending during the year and taking on and paying off debt annually. Did I have fun? Of course I did, but I do regret all that hedonistic spending now. I was not taught how to manage money in school, but that was no excuse. I studied the languages of money. I knew what to do. I was just too immature and pleasure-oriented to do it. And I suspect many of you are guilty of the same kind of self-indulgent spending, but at least you're here watching this video learning what not to do. What I did was a radical mistake that I wish I could do over. I ignored the need for financial security, thinking as many young people do, that I have so many more years to save money for my future. And then all of a sudden those years begin to disappear and a little more gray shows up and you have a lot fewer left than you think. Your bad debt and spending habits will continue to carry on year after year in a vicious spending cycle if you don't stop and address them now. So let me impress upon you the importance of starting to invest early and consistently every month. Ideally using auto-pay into your online brokerage account from your bank and auto-investing from there. I made the mistake so you don't have to. Please take my word for it. The data about starting to invest as early as possible does not lie. Some of you may have heard this before, but maybe you're ignoring it. So let's take a look. Hayden and Tara are the same age. Both started saving and investing at different times in their life. Tara started her first portfolio when she was 20. She invested $5,000 per year for 10 years until she was 30 years old, a total of $50,000 in a combination of mutual funds and exchange-traded funds. She held on to her investments and now she's 60. She did not try to time the market. She did not buy and sell. She bought funds that let her sleep at night. She played the tried and tested long game of becoming wealthy, not speculating and believing she could get rich quick. It may be boring, but it works time after time, portfolio after portfolio. If you want to be wealthy and financially free, this is how to do it. Hayden started investing and saving at age 30. He invested $5,000 per year every month of every year until he was 60 years old. A total of $150,000 invested over 30 years. Just like Tara, he held on to his investments and now he's 60. He also did not try to time the market. He was not trying to get rich quick, but he did want to be rich. And now, after many years of disciplined investing, he is. He bought a combination of mutual funds and exchange-traded funds and held them for the long term. Let's look at their results. As you can see, Tara's investing is represented by the purple dark line. Tara saved for investment for only 10 years, but she started early on in her working life. She put her savings into long-term investments and didn't worry about timing the market because she was investing every month directly from her paycheck for the long term. She also had the discipline to keep her money invested, even during major market corrections. As a result, with just $5,000 of disciplined monthly saving and investing in her early years, this portfolio of hers is now over $600,000 in invested assets. Hayden's investing is represented by the orange line. Hayden started saving at age 30 and saved and invested his money every month, every year for 30 years, and now he's also 60 and has just over $500,000 in his portfolio. But it's nearly $100,000 less than Tara's. Yet, over his working life, Hayden saved 3 times more money than Tara did, and yet has less than her at age 60. They both kept their long-term money invested and did not try to time the market by switching in and out and selling when they felt there was a good gain or selling out because of fear when the market fell sharply, which happens. They just kept investing steadily, month after month, with discipline and an eye on future financial security and freedom. The reason Tara has so much more money is because she started to invest 10 years earlier than Hayden, and her money had the time to accelerate in gains through the early compounding of interest and dividends. Both Tara and Hayden reinvest all of their dividends and the interest they receive, meaning every time a stock paid a dividend or a bond paid interest as income to Tara and Hayden, that money was used to buy more stocks and more bonds, therefore compounding their long-term returns. The dividends bought more shares. The shares eventually paid more dividends. Those new dividends were reinvested in more shares, and so on. That's compounding your returns. That's your money at work for you, making you more money and growing your wealth while you sleep, reducing your financial stress and building your financial security and financial freedom for the future. Let's take a look at one more slide. If Tara continued to invest $5,000 per month every year until she was 60, following on from where she started at age 20 and continuing on like Hayden did, she would have a total portfolio worth of around 1.1 million US dollars from the savings that she put towards investments of $200,000 over her 40-year working life. This, my friend, should be your target, to maximize your portfolio returns over your working life. You will become wealthy if you follow this advice, and you will become financially free as long as you start to manage your money today. Create a budget, pay off your debt, build an emergency fund, save for investments, live within your means, have a clear financial plan. My mission and life purpose is to help you reduce your financial stress and improve your financial confidence and knowledge so you can eventually become financially free. We offer success coaching and courses for individuals and corporate teams. So if you're interested to know more, send me an email. The earlier you start investing, the wealthier you will be. That's a fact. My name is Lachlan Campbell, and this is Mad Success. Cheers.